Welcome to the Banana Breakdown Podcast, your inside look at all things banana ball through player interviews and game breakdowns. We're your hosts. I'm Brandon, and I like to go bananas.
I'm Sammy. I'm the life of the party. And as always, go party animals.
Got a glove and a dream.
What a play by that kid! Oh, it's Brandon! No way! From the Banana Ball Breakdown Podcast. He and his co-host Sammy have been podcasting since the first game of the 2025 World Tour. He catches a foul ball for an out in the final game. Poetic.
You guys are outstanding.
Welcome to the Banana Breakdown Podcast. We are so excited for today. It's going to be a Party Animals takeover, so I'll throw it on over to Sammy.
It is a dream come true where we are going to exclusively talk about the party animals. We don't need to talk about anyone else. This is all about the party animals, defending champions. That's what we want to talk about. It's going to be awesome. So we've got three amazing guests. Super excited for it. We've got Dalton Ponce first. We'll have Coach Vava on after him, and then Dustin Baber to wrap it up. So stick around for all of it. It's going to be awesome. And I think we got to get ready for this Party Animals takeover. We've got a little bit of a costume change here.
Oh, there we go. This feels good.
Here we go.
It's officially a Party Animals takeover.
It's so great to see Brandon wearing that jersey. We don't get to see it very often. We saw it right after the championship, but yeah, it's good.
Okay, well, let's see. Biff, looks good on you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, this is going to be a great live stream. We're so excited for you guys. So yeah, we've got Dalton Ponce up first in a couple minutes. We'll have him on, talk about his thoughts on the championship, the draft, especially with the Party Animals taking almost exclusively the same team. There's some cool stuff there. And then obviously Vava will get more into the draft strategy. And then Dustin Baber, who we had on recently, you can go back and check out that full conversation. He'll be on for a little bit at the end, kind of talking about the draft with his perspective on the draft being not knowing what was going to happen. So it'll be pretty fun to see.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome day. But before we get started on that, before we bring Dalton on, we want to introduce you to someone that's going to be kind of backstage today, helping us with the chat because it is honestly really, really hard to monitor the chat while interviewing someone. So we've got Cooper on. We've talked about him before, but we've got Cooper on, and he's going to be doing some of that. And we wanted to introduce you to him here real quick.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Doing good, and you?
Great. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So everyone, if you see Cooper Carter, his name in the chat, he'll be answering some stuff. He'll be keeping some of the questions for us to go over. So throw any questions you have for any of the guests in the chat. We'll ask some of our questions and then try to slip some of yours in as much as we can. But yeah, Cooper, do you want to introduce yourself for a couple seconds to everyone?
Yeah, my name's Cooper Carter. I'm a sophomore in college right now. I play baseball at the NAI level in Nebraska. And I'm a media communications major. I broadcast for the school and for the local radio station. I'm also a journalist for NAI Ball. I write weekly articles, and I have a little banana ball history. I did an exclusive interview with Joe Lytle from what was the Firefighters, now the Clowns catcher, because he did play NAI baseball. So there's a full article on him on the NAI Ball website. So I got my feet wet a little bit with banana ball, but now I'm really started to go out there, and I reached out to these guys. I'm just happy to be here working with them.
Yeah, we really appreciate all of your help. He does a lot of the editing for us on the back end and helping out with the live stream. So if you see him in the chat, make sure to say hi and appreciate you coming on, Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper's
Thank
the
you
best.
guys.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Awesome. So we've got a couple things to talk about on this. I'm just excited to talk about the Party Animals. This is a great team. They won the championship this past year. They have a really good team coming off the draft. So it'll be exciting to see. Everyone's trying to chase them, as Drake kept saying during the draft. So it's a good time to be a Party Animals fan for Sammy.
Yes, it's a very, very good time to be a Party Animals fan. We're going to discuss all of that today with some very, very awesome guests. So without further ado, should we introduce our first guest?
Let's do it. Let me pull this up here. So our first guest is Dalton Ponce. Dalton Ponce was the champion with the Party Animals this year. He's been an all-star for 2 years, and I believe that's both years he's been in Banana Ball. So super excited to see that. Got a lot of wins this season, got 50 strikeouts, so really excited to see that. And if you haven't seen as well, he's got some pretty sick dance moves. So with all that being said, let's bring to the stage Dalton Ponce.
What's going on, guys? Hear me clear? All good?
All good.
Sweet. So excited to be on here, man. It means a lot. Just want to give, shout out to you guys and what you guys do. Each one of the players, like we look at your guys' stuff. Like you guys are doing stuff that no one else is. And it's really cool that you guys get to break this down for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And
It's been awesome. We've gotten to interact with you in person a few times, and you're just a great guy. Super excited to have you on for the first time on the podcast.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, shoot, I have to now that you guys basically won us a championship. Come on now. I mean, how awesome was that? You literally caught my foul ball. Literally, it's literally that. Like, tensions were high. It couldn't have been better, truly.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing moment that we'll have forever in our minds, and now it's in the intro. So appreciate.
I love it.
Appreciate that.
Love it.
I still can't believe that I was looking away barely, and by the time I heard the crack of the bat, and by the time I turned, it was already in Brandon's glove. It was like,
Insane.
What just happened?
Insane moment. It couldn't have been any better. Like 8th inning, like over here, like that's like going throughout the tour, you know what I mean? And like getting into like the championship game, like that's the Mecca. That's the game you want to be in, and have that happen, to you guys was just so cool. So cool to see, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun moment. But with the championship in general, like, can you take us into some of your feelings going into the game and obviously at the end once you guys knew that you had the victory?
Yeah, the whole time it was actually hilarious with all the guys and the players. We were, they were making fun. I was like the guy going down to the bullpen each and every time that Delano and Brett, them going, 8-9 sheet CGs, you know what I mean? And I was warming up every time. I threw a CG in the bullpen every time, and it was so funny that we get to the championship again. I go down there, kind of warm up, and good games each and every game too. And originally they were gonna have Drew go 8-9, and I was okay with that. I just wanted to win. I don't care. Like I just want to win. Party Animals wanted to win, and then that's when Vava gave me the nod. He was like, "Okay, you got the 8th." And I was like, "Oh gosh, here we go." And like it was a long time before I got nervous. Probably since Clemson. Pitching at Clemson was like, when you're standing on the mound, and I look up and you keep going up, and there's fans still going up, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh gosh," I haven't been nervous since then. But like the tensions were so high, and that like you kind of like black out in the moment, like you start throwing, you start doing what you need to do. It's good transition to Banana Ball because it makes you not think. And I think that's one of the most important things that it's taught me is I don't think when I throw. It's nice because it's so quick. We have to pitch every 6 seconds, like we're going. But yeah, to win that with the fellas and to do the champagne shower, like, my mom and dad always say, like, I get to live that for the rest of my life. I get to say I get a champagne shower, champagne burn in the eyes with the fellas. You know what I mean? Like I could live with that, for the rest of my life. It was super cool to experience.
Yeah, that is awesome. You guys were really dominant for most of the season. What went into this season? What goes into a championship season?
Yeah, from the get-go, with last year, I don't think we performed, the way we should have and the way we wanted to the year before. And, we came in, with a little bit of vengeance, a little bit of like, okay, let's hit the ground running now that, we have a championship. We have something, to look forward to. And it's like, as I said, the tensions were high towards the end, even with like the Dalton Cornette homer, like how could you you can't script that, you know what I mean? And, but yeah, to build that caliber, you have, leaders all over the team when it comes to the Party Animals. Me jumping in there 2 years ago, I always like say I had to build a foundation for myself to be one of the guys to be the old reliable going into the bullpen where they need to be a starter or whatever. Delano, Brett, Tanner, all these guys, Andy coming in big time. All these guys on the field that they're able to, round up the troops and get going. You Skull, Reese. I mean, you got countless guys that have endless experience in Banana Bowl. And it's cool too, a lot of new guys now, with the draft and all that stuff. But like these guys have been there, they've done that. They understand. And to build that team, I it relies on team chemistry. Like I think that's one of the main things that, teams tend to overlook, and they just, go with raw talent, but it takes a little bit more than that when it comes to Banana Bowl. You have the full, you have the 622s, you got the walk-ups, you got, being from to the field 8 a.m. to midnight every single time, behind closed doors. It's tough on the body. So, but these guys, they were able to build that, caliber and start like straightforward right from the get-go till the end, so we stay consistent, and that's what we need to do. And we did that.
Yeah. So like along those lines with the team chemistry, like what are your thoughts going into next year, knowing that 95% of the team is exactly the same?
Yeah, I mean, like going off, we have talked countless times about the draft. Like, oh gosh, here's the draft, here it comes. Nerve-wracking for sure. Like it was very, very nerve-wracking, even for someone that, is amazingly fan voted. But like you're looking at, my roommates, my teammates, my guys that could be left off or drafted or whatnot. But it's a breath of fresh air to know that, we have our team back. And that's like what Vava said before, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, like it's very simple strategy for us. We are the team to beat, and it's cool. It's cool to be that team. That's what everyone's trying to beat us. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to, try to beat us and try to win. But the good thing about it is like we, with Vava and like what he did, keeping our guys, like people like our fans were so nervous, for people like Bronny, Ryan, Brady, Nate, like all these guys that were these cuss guys, like they wanted to be back with us. It was a relief for every single one of us. Like we just wanted our guys back, and that's what Vava did. And it was really cool to see him go and get his boys, even like Dylan Porter, like a guy like that, they coming back in, but it sticks with the team chemistry, and that's what Vava did. So it was a great strategy, like what I thought too.
So I got to ask this. Were you aware before, like going into the draft, that was going to be Coach Vava's strategy, or were you kind of surprised when he started drafting all the guys back?
Yeah, we kind of had a familiarity. Like we kind of knew like with the draft, we were hoping, we, at the end of the day, we can't think what Bob was thinking, but we hope, that he was going to go in doing that. Like, of course, like as we talked about, like the Bananas had a completely different strategy. All these teams had a draft from scratch, and they had to go for the Coconuts Clowns. They all had to, get guys that, like they were absolutely outstanding guys in the minor leagues and everything like that. But Vava, kind of had hopefully a set in stone, like, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and that. And it made it a lot easier for him, to draft, and the fans, you know what I mean? Because they were all freaking out, just like we were. Like we're refreshing the page the same. Yeah, like we're like, oh my gosh, is my roommate going to be back? Is my teammate going to be back? Watching the thing all live. So we were in the same boat. So. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, I know that there's like a breath of like relief once Bloomer went first, and then you got Peter Holden and Dustin Baber, and like everyone as we were going through, and then it's like, oh, this is what he's gonna do. Okay, this
exactly.
Is nice.
It was a great, like, okay, like, all right, let's get our guys back. I mean, what we did last year. I mean, how could we not?
For sure. I have a question from the chat regarding this. So Julia asks, were you super relieved to be fan franchise? Can you like take us into the moment when you found that out?
Yeah. I mean, like there was a lot of juggle in there. There was a lot of like, oh my gosh, am I going to be fan franchise? Am I not? Being the only pitcher to be fan franchise was a tremendous like honor, truly. Like, when it comes to, these guys that work their butts off every single day, for the 2 years that I've been here, it was a relief to be, voted by the fans. And I, couldn't express the love and how grateful I am for them too. But yes, a little bit of like, okay, like knowing I don't have to like worry because like anything could happen, with the draft. Any team could have selected me if I was in the draft as well. Um, and every team needs pitching and every team needs a good bat. So I mean, to be fan franchise was unbelievable. It was really cool when Vava called me up and said that and was like, oh man, all right, we could breathe a little bit, like all right, we could breathe. So it was awesome, truly.
I love that.
We had a couple guys on after those fan franchise announcements happened, and Zach Bridges had it was Zach Bridges. He said that his parents were like out campaigning for him, like getting votes and everything. Did you have any campaign strategies for the fan vote?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, I did not. There was something about I didn't with when it comes to being wanting to be fan voted and all that stuff. Of course, everybody does, you know. But I mean, there was a guy, I forgot his name. He posted it was a really good like strategy. It's not voting for the guys that you already know that were in. It's voting for the guys that are kind of on like the edge, the kind of like are the cusp guys. And I love my fan base. I love what we're able to build and stuff. So yeah, I just kind of just posted a story, and I was talking with Delano, who I love Delano so much, but he's a lot. But I mean, like we were talking about, like we kind of knew he was safe, Brett, along with Andy. So like that strategy of they're like, okay, like we kind of know, like kind of on the edge, like hopefully I'll be that 11th guy. And thankfully it was, but I didn't have any sort of strategy. Just posted on Instagram, hoping that I would, and it did, and all the dominoes fell right.
Perfect. Well, we're super stoked that you're back. Yeah. Sorry. Did you have
No, you're good.
a fan one that you wanted to? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got a fan one in there that we'll bring up, but kind of want to go back to how you got into Banana Ball and starting with what was your baseball situation as you were growing up, and like what got you into baseball, that whole lead up to where it was right before you shifted over to Banana Ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out playing baseball since I was 2 years old. Live and breathe baseball. Like my mom put me in, and my dad was a quarterback. So I mean, it was a lot different. It was a lot two different sides. But I grew up playing baseball in my life. I went to St. Mary's College for 3 years in Northern California. So I did that for 3 years. COVID happened. It all got messed up when COVID happened too, when it comes to the draft and all that stuff. And then I transferred to Long Beach State for 2 years. So I was there for 2 years, and I kind of knew, like, I didn't get drafted or anything like that, but I kind of knew I still was good enough to play baseball, or just at least get paid to play. And so I joined the MLB Draft League, and I was in the Frederick Keys, and kind of like the Orioles kind of like organization that got let go because of COVID. And I played their first season. I played the amateur and the pro league. So, but it was a tough time. It was a very unique story, that I like to tell. It was a lot different. It was a lot different for me, and with the winning atmosphere college brings, and when you go into pro, everyone's kind of for themselves. Everyone's trying to get to the next level, and that winning aspect is kind of gone a little bit. So it was hard for me to kind of transition into that, and I was after that, I kind of tipped my cap to baseball. I was ready to move on and to be done. And sure enough, like the last game, I told my coach, "Hey, just let me go. This is it for me. Let me go." Through 9 innings, 1 run, like literally like 12 Ks, unbelievable outing. Like literally like storybook. I mean, all my teammates knew I was done at the Frederick. We're all crying. Like we're all like, this is like, how could you be done? And I'm like, yeah, this is it, man. Like this is gonna be it. And then that's when our recruiter Barry, he DM me on Instagram, and I was like, oh. At first I was like, it's so funny now. It's like, oh, well, I called him up, and, I'm like, look, I'm not like the shirt off kind of dancing kind of guy you're looking for. And sure enough, right now that I am, I'm with Jake Lealios doing all the fun dances. But, he's like, just come try out. Just come try out. I was like, okay. And I had no recollection of like Banana. Like I had no connection. I was at the CPL. I didn't know anybody. I was like literally just like going in blind. Like I was just the new guy, and I had a really good tryout here in California 2 years ago, And I thought I was going to make like one of the new teams, like or the Firefighters or like or whatever team that was going to be new. Like I did very well. And then sure enough, Barry and Vava called me up, and it was hilarious. I met Vava in the bathroom of that tryout. And he'll tell you that. Like I literally met him in the bathroom, washed my hands. I was like, oh, hey, coach, how you doing? Oh, what's good? So, but I was like, wow, I was going to be on like the main team, the party animals. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play in MLB stadiums. And it was a shock, for me. And, I feel like I got in at a good time, and the rest is history. So that's kind of like the storyline of how I kind of got into it.
I love that. We had a question that goes along with that. So like, what was your understanding of Banana Ball before this? I know you said you didn't have any CPL connections, but did you know who the Savannah Bananas were before Barry messaged you, or what was your experience like there?
Yeah, I saw it kind of like on Instagram and stuff like that. I'd be laying in bed and I would see like a 622 or 322 and be like, huh. Like, and the first thing was like this. I knew it was a summer ball team, but I knew they wore kilts. That was the only really thing that I was like, oh wow, they're the kilt team, huh? Interesting. And at the time, like you're just like you never heard of it. Like they totally revamped themselves. And as like Barry told me, I'm gonna be at like kind of the tail end of like, all right, it's gonna skyrocket. Like we want you to join, and it was really cool to be a part of it now. You know what I mean? And kind of to have that foundation be like a solidified banana ball player. It's awesome. It's truly like with the following I built, from the ground up. I didn't have a TikTok coming into this. I didn't have really an Instagram, and connected with all those guys and Tanner, and I actually got to see the Bananas play in I think he was in New Jersey at Trenton, New Jersey, and I saw him play, and I saw Tanner, I saw Chase, I saw Delano, and that's when I was with the Frederick Keys, and that's kind of the only time I was like, whoa, I could think I could do this. I think I could. And the team was like, yeah, we think you can do this. Bonds fit right for you. I was like, I think I can. I think I could do it. And then sure enough, I did it. So.
Yeah. Did the recruiter Barry, did he ever tell you, like, how did he find you? Like, did you ever hear that story at all?
Yeah, he I mean basically like after my outing, it was kind of a little bit on Twitter, and stuff like that. And I think he just like kind of saw some videos of me and did some research of me and reached out, did research of me in college and called all my college coaches and stuff. Um and yeah, so I mean he kind of reached out there and probably saw me play in the draft league a little bit. And and I think Taj as well, he also played in the draft league too. So like kind of like that's kind of like where maybe he likes to, see guys and stuff like that. Cause we're young and we don't know if we're going to continue independent ball or not. And, cause it's a hard life, but I mean, this life is, to me, 10 times better.
Love that.
Yeah. So you mentioned that, your time, in, was it the Frederick Keys? Is that what you said?
Independent ball with the Frederick Keys.
In your time in indie ball, people were, playing for themselves, trying to get to the next step. How is that environment? How is the banana ball environment different compared to like a regular indie ball situation?
Yeah, when you talk about a 180, it's about a 180 as it gets. Like incredible. I started to watch some games. I started to really like, I was like, okay, if I'm going to be serious about this, I want to go full. So I had a full Average Joe's for my favorite movie of all time, Dodgeball. So I was like, I'm just going to go for it. Like I grew up dancing. I grew up I never had any dance lessons or anything like that, but I grew up with this Taibo. And it was like this kind of like gymnast guy that kind of like would, we would do punches and stuff. And that's how I built my rhythm since I was like 5. And I would just do that. And I danced to Michael Jackson, in high school and all that stuff. And for the people that know me, I did a whole Michael Jackson thing in high school and stuff. So it was like I had but best of both worlds, and I kind of just needed to put them together. And it was kind of like a real surreal experience when I was like, oh wow, like I went to Savannah, I flew into Savannah, and like, oh man, like this is real. Like, and at first, like my first game I ever played when we played in Tampa, I'm looking around like, is this thing gonna sell out? Is this thing gonna like? You're always so skeptical, as anyone would, and then sure enough, sells out, and over here I'm shaking. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling. It really is, for people that support you and want you to be there and want you to, play well. And, that's what every player wants to do. They want to still play well. They want to play the game well, it's still super competitive and real, as you guys have seen. Like you guys were right in it, like with the championship game, and it's cool. It's a great balance. It's a hard balance, for me to come in there and pitch and stuff, because I really didn't do well the first couple of months. I went to the party animals. I had to like really like. I always tell the story of Fluke going, hey, like you got to just let go of baseball, like just have fun and dance with Jake on the sidelines. And that's what I did. I flipped my hat backwards and, did with the look that I have now and started just, whatever happens, happens. And, I started to go on a better route there when I started to just let go and just have fun and not think, like say hi to the batters, like talk, and some guys don't like that. Some guys don't like, some guys like to be locked in when they're hitting. But with me, like I'm talking with them. I'm talking to Olsen, talking crap to Olsen all the time. That guy, if anyone knows. No, but it's good. You build friendships, you build chemistries, and a complete 180. But I do love the guys that were there too, that supported me from the beginning.
I love that. So like talking about how you had the best of both worlds with baseball and dance and all the fan stuff, like how do you balance that today? Like preparing to make sure that your skills are tight on the pitching, but you're also able to learn the dances and all of that. Like how do you do that?
It's a lot more than you think. It's like we get them the day of. That's the crazy thing. Some we don't. Some we kind of get them a couple days before if it's a big thing. But like when it comes to the 622 dances that we have to learn, it's anyone that's doing it, me, Jake, we got to learn it then. We got to learn now. We're sweating out there before the game, like at 10 a.m. Like here we go. Like we got to learn this dance. But it was really cool. Someone, I think one of my teammates told me that like during the tryout they're using my 622 dance as a tryout, that the one that I did. And it's really like I sit back and I'm like, geez Louise, like I was learning a new dance, and now I'm the standard of that. And it's really really awesome to like think about that. Like these guys are like watching me dance to try to and pitch, and with me the balance of the two was difficult at first for me to try to develop, to try to let go. Because like I would get in the dugout, I'd put my jacket on and not talk to anyone like I usually would do, like any pitcher would do. But then, after it was in Mesa, Arizona is when I really started to like I that time is like 2 years ago is when I started to like, okay, I started to let go. I started to flip the hat backwards. I started to dance. I started to have fun. Like I started to balance, and it's still difficult to balance the two because sometimes you're so competitive and wanting to win that like when you're on the field and not doing well, shoot, you revert right back to what you did in baseball, and you're not laughing, you're not dancing when you're giving up bombs, like it's hard. it's difficult, but it's good to like what I kind of do, like, Philly's a very quick pitcher. To me, I try to get the outs and then entertain after. That's kind of like my motive of how I go about it, so.
Yeah, it sounds like the party animals in general. It's like get the
literally.
job done and entertain on the back end.
There you go. Absolutely.
That's perfect. Well, so your journey with Banana Ball has taken you to some amazing stadiums, amazing venues. We wanted to throw this stat at you. I don't know if you've seen this from CBS Sports today, but they posted something on their Instagram that we thought was awesome. So the Tennessee Titans have not won a home game this season. And so here are some teams that have won at least one game in Nissan Stadium. What does it mean to you to know that you have won more games in Nissan Stadium than the Tennessee Titans this season?
Wow. First of all, I haven't seen that graphic at all. Complete surprise. That is so awesome and so funny at the same time. But it's it's so cool. It just goes to show that, we're just right in it like with the rest of the teams, But that stadium was really cool. An insane, crazy game. But that's so cool that they would put our logo right in front of those photos. I love that. So cool. Definitely need to go and research that for sure.
Yeah, we'll send you a link to this. That was Cooper who's helping us out with some stuff. He found that today, so
so funny. So funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, but what is it like to play in some of these huge stadiums, historic stadiums?
Yeah, as a pitcher when it comes to the football stadium, it's pretty tough, pretty difficult. I was very blessed, this year to not give up a home run in a football stadium. It was just me and Brady. Like we just thank gosh. But knock on wood, hopefully next year it continues. But I mean, like when you're pitching these big stadiums, very humbly, you get kind of very like used to it in a sense. Like you kind of like you're like, okay, like I've already pitched and played in front of these when I remember the first game when I started in Philly, when I was in Philadelphia. That one was like, oh gosh, like again, shaking, like you have the whole ordeal. That one it would like really get you. Then you kind of like start to develop and you start like getting comfortable with the fans and you go talk to them and be in the crowd, and it's good. It's fun. But then when you're playing in these really big stadiums like Clemson, like you're like, oh geez, okay, like, you gotta like slow the heart rate down. You're like all right, and some are used to it, and some get the jitters, and it's all good adrenaline. It's good. Like you start getting ramped up, and you're like, all right, let's do this thing. You're facing your homies, you're facing your guys.
I love that. Yeah, with all the fields, I mean, there's a ton of other fields that are coming up next year as well that'll be added to that list. We had a question here: what city or stadium are you most excited to play in next year?
It's a great one. It's a great one. As a California boy, it hurts, that I'm not an Angel or Petco. I would love to go there, but for those guys. But I think Oregon and Boise are super fascinating to me. I think Boise, of course, with the blue turf. Like, how
Yeah.
could you not? That game's going to be insane. Like the graphics, the media. That
Yeah.
one's going to be gnarly. The blue, the pink, all that. I think it's going to be really cool. But another kind of one that we already played in, but one of my favorites was Las Vegas. Las Vegas was one what I personally loved on the first year of tour. I really liked Las Vegas. I liked how the field was, the atmosphere was, and that was like really cool. Like there's tons of party animal fans there. If we had a home base, I feel like it would be Las Vegas. I mean, could we not?
Yeah, definitely.
Um, but and then of course, I mean, how could you not like Yankee Stadium? You're playing in the mecca of all ballparks. You get a checked out one off the list. That you could say, as a 25-year-old, you played at Yankee Stadium. Pretty awesome.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So now with next season, you're going to all these amazing stadiums, but it's also the league is shifting a little bit. There's two more teams. It's a banana ball championship league. Every team is playing the same amount of away games and home games. Everything's shifting. What are some of your thoughts on the changes coming up next season?
Yeah, I think it's all a good thing too. Jesse knows what he's doing. He's built this thing from the ground up, and we all trust him. But yeah, no, it's becoming a league, and it truly is becoming more competitive. We brought in, guys. I mean, you just had an interview with Tanner Allen. You know what I mean? Like I was at Mississippi State at Long Beach opening day. That the year after they won the whole thing, the whole World Series, the College World Series. So it's like, you're bringing in these high level guys, Jordan Brewer and all these guys that are really good, and it brings a different dynamic to it. It brings a different it's really cool to see this thing evolve. And it's like, okay, here's a league. All right, here's a championship. All right, here's the playoff picture. We got playoffs in the middle of the season now. In order to make it to the playoffs, that's what it's like. Yes, it's going to be more competitive, absolutely. But I don't think we're going to forget about all the good, all the entertainment, all the fun that also goes along to it. Like it's going to be more of like playoff-esque, like we're going to have roles, we're going to have, within the other time we kind of just, like went with the show and kind of did that and had our roles and we kind of knew what we were doing. But now it's like, all right, we're here to win. Like we got a series to win, this next. All right, well, we got the coconuts here. Oh, shoot. Okay. We got the clowns. Oh, man, they're on a 5-game win streak. That's what goes into the mind that you guys are now going to cover. Now you got the standings. Now you got, oh, shoot, who's going off this week? Oh, man, whoa. He doesn't give up a run. That's the cool thing you guys get to see. It's like, oh, man, you've been tracking it now. Now you got added 2 more teams with great players, and you have the 4 existing teams with also great players. And now each and every one, now you're like the standings, and it's like, oh shoot, okay, oh wow, they're 2 games back. Oh, it gets fun. It's gonna get fun.
Yeah, we're super stoked to do it. We were making our own standings and everything, trying to
Yeah.
keep up with it this season, but to have uh, have a solid idea of like the playoff race and everything. We're really excited for that, and to try to get some guys on that might be having a hot weekend or whatever. Try to get them on to talk to them. We're super stoked for this season and covering it all.
Do it. Absolutely. Get as many guys as on as possible. They love it. We love it. And what you guys are doing is pretty special. It's cool to be a part of, and for you guys to take this thing into your own and really make it to what it has been today.
Thank you. Yeah, no, we're super pumped for next season. Adjusting a little bit to some big news that came, I think, today as well. You were mentioning with your family here. What does it mean to you that your cousin Cody Ponce going to the Blue Jays?
Yeah, I mean, what an awesome feeling, was, he's been at it, for 4 straight years now. I think, playing overseas, and to have him, sign a big contract, and I got friends, my phone's blowing up. Oh my gosh, you see this, you see this, you see this, and it's pretty cool to have a family member now come back to the big leagues, and hopefully be in the rotation too. As a Dodger fan, against the Blue Jays, and I feel like the Blue Jays got a whole lot better, with my cousin being there. So I'm happy for him and Emma and stuff, and what they've done. He just had a kid recently too, and so I mean, it's awesome for what he's done, and in Korea, and had put up video game numbers. I would be in line, and I had someone come to be like, "Oh my gosh, Cody might win the Cy Young out there." I'm like, what? Because I'm freaking going. I'm busy. I'm doing my thing, and I have to, and so I'm super happy for him. Truly.
That's awesome. I guess, do you guys how much interaction did you have? Were you guys close at all when you grew up, or any of that? Did you ever play baseball together?
Yeah, I mean, so he went to Damien High School, and he went to Cal Poly Pomona, then got drafted by the Brewers. My route was definitely different. But me and Cody, we always check and haul, we're going. That's the Ponce family motto. We got to do this. Where are we going? He's got to do this. Now he lives, away from California now. But I mean, yeah, we both grew up, playing. We tried football, I think, both times, and we're like, oh, it's different. I was a center in football. I was just I was not. I wish I could have had, be a QB, but I mean, I just had 1 year, and that was that. But yeah, so we grew up. He was right here, 30 minutes away from where I live, and but yeah, so I'm excited to see where he's at now, and what he's doing for the Blue Jays, and hopefully he has a great year, and hopefully I can get him out to a game for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sick.
I am curious, coming from a baseball family, obviously, we have, some baseball purists have some bad things to say about banana ball, that, you're trying to combat some of those things. What was your family's opinion of banana ball, when you first joined, and then what has it shifted since you've been going?
Yeah, don't we all get the hate?
Yeah.
It's I going and being in banana ball, to me, when I wanted to join, with my family, there was a part of us were like, oh well, I mean, do we want to continue the route of baseball? And I think every kid should. I feel like every kid should try to get to the MLB. Have that kind of foundational structure, to get there. Each one of us that are now probably playing banana ball wanted to play in the MLB, wanted to play with Kershaw, wanted to play with Aaron Judge, all these guys, and to be in the big leagues. But that doesn't pan out for some, and that's okay. And talking to my parents about it, my dad's like, my dad was more like, oh, does this thing sell out? Let this thing sell out. Let's see if this, and sure enough, it does. I'm like, Dad, this thing's legit. This thing's cool. And my mom and dad, they're both supportive of it. They love what I do each and every day, and they keep up it was just like you. You know what I mean? I love looking at all the stats. That's just who I am. I love looking at all the okay, well, I got 4 more innings. Maybe I could do that, which is good and bad, but on the mound, you don't think about any of that. And, And so, yeah, it's definitely with all the purists out there, there's always going to be hate, but that's good publicity. Any publicity, but it's good publicity. And the party animals, the bananas, they've been hated on so much. They've been it's been like, oh gosh, like there's here we go, they were the bananas, but that's okay. And you kind of just like laugh, and you start to get you're like, okay, dude, like come on. You start to laugh about it. You start to just like, all right, with all the hate, we get and all that. I mean, it's all fun, because they hate it because, and you watch it be like, have you ever like seen a game before or anything? No, no, I don't want. Okay, well, there you go. Like, I mean, right then and there, you haven't seen it. And each time, like, even when I'm in kind of like signing in lines, they're like, whoa, you guys are like really good. And we're like, yeah. Like, we're not, like, like, we're not Sunday league guys. Like, these guys are compete, Jake Skoll hitting bombs everywhere. Like, everyone's like wanting to do well. Like, we want to play at a high level. And so, but yeah, no, it's cool to for all the haters that are just out there. It's like, we just laugh at them, we're like, all right, like, okay. You kind of just be like, okay, when a coach tells you to do something, or I always like it, it's like, coach tells you to do something, you're already doing well. And then like, you're just doing the exact same thing. You're like, see, see, like I did that. And you're like, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of just have been going at it. I mean, you got, guys, I'm around, guys that are very famous and they know how to deal with it. You got to have a certain personality to be able to handle that, because it can crumble under some if you're just getting hated on constantly. But you're around guys that are around you that want to be a part of it and to help you out. So
I love that. I wish we could keep on going for forever, but we're coming up a little bit close to time here. I do have a question in the chat that I want to hit
for sure
before we end here, from Christina. What has been the highlight of your banana ball career? If you could
gosh
pick
dang, man. I mean,
hard question.
What a great question. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little. I think one of my alongside baseball, like the baseball itself was great. And I've had a lot of great outings where I loved it. But I think one of the most hilarious ones to me, like if I had to pick one that kind of stands out from aside from a baseball standpoint of doing well in baseball, but the All-Star game, last year, there was a video that blew up from the Clemson doing the backflips, right? And then we had our 622. And some of you might not know, but like that 622 went, very viral. Like it was the most viral party animal video, I think, still. The party animals put on TikTok only. And but if you look, I actually mess up for the first time ever in all my 622s that I've ever done, mess up that dance. And Olsen gives me crap, and Cox gives me crap for it all the time. But it's really funny because you don't know in the video. But I mean, to be a part of that first ever All-Star game and to do well was such a cool experience in Clemson to do. And and you're getting to be around guys that you haven't been around in a long time, especially with this new All-Star game too. But I think that one, and then starting in Philadelphia in the Phillies, was I think one of the highlights of my career. Like I just started and like at the time the most like biggest MLB stadium that we've done yet. Me and Niznik, it was like, all right, here we go. Like that one was really cool. I got a lot of texts from families like, oh my gosh, we just saw you on ESPN. It's like, whoa. It's like, whoa, dude, I looked up and you were pitching. What are you talking about? And that happened a lot this year too, in Nashville and on Tennessee and all that. Like I've had a lot of videos of them be like, oh my gosh, like that's you. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what I do now. It's cool. But yeah, I think those are two cool experiences that I've done. I think pitching in Philly was just incredible. That was definitely a highlight moment of my career.
Love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we're almost out of time, but I did find one more. I think that this is a great one to kind of wrap up on. All
Very
right.
timely.
What was your top song on Spotify Wrapped this year?
That's a good one. So I don't use Spotify. I use Apple Music, so it's a little different. But
Yeah.
I do have a list, as like I am more of like the vibey music kind of guy. So Tame Impala was my number one. I listened to their album constantly, so I love them. And then I had an '80s artist that I listened to all the time, Duran Duran, and I love '80s. When I grew up on '80s like throughout my entire life. So I'm an old soul when it comes to music. So the 80s and then Tame Impala were my top two. They're Duran Duran. So for the people that know who those artists are, those were kind of my ones that I love. But I'm tell you what, I'm just not a country guy. I've just never been, coming from, I've just never been the country guy. I like, more of the vibe. I like a good beat, but no, I just can't, for all those country, I give it to you. You guys are, that's your guys thing, but I'm going to stick with, my oldies. So
You're on the right team then.
there you go. Yeah, no, literally. I mean, it could have been better. So I'm glad that I'm still, with the party animals, and I appreciate you guys having me on too. But yeah, have fun with Vava and Baber. Hopefully they got a lot of good things to say. But I mean, it means a lot. Hopefully we do this, again soon.
For sure. We're happy to have you on again, and we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see you later.
See ya.
All right. Catch you guys.
Yep. Awesome. Well, that was an incredible conversation with Dalton Ponce. And like he mentioned there at the end, we've got Coach Vava coming on in just a couple minutes, and then Dustin Baber at the end. So for everyone that is coming on now, it is a Party Animals takeover night. All party animals the whole night. A lot of fun. But Sammy, what were your thoughts on that interview?
Oh, that was awesome to hear his his background of getting introduced to banana ball, getting recruited into it, and then it's just awesome to hear his journey, and can't wait to see what he can do next season with the Party Animals coming back and hopefully defending that title.
For sure. Okay, well, I think it's probably time to introduce our next guest. So we'll pull up the screen here to introduce our next guest. Mike Vavasis is the head coach for the Party Animals for the last couple years. He was a player back for a few years in 2021 and 22, transitioned over to the head coach, but also still bats for the team and catches occasionally. And he was the 2023 and 2025 champions with the Party Animals. And in this season, in addition to everything else he did, pulled off 2 home runs in his at-bats. Let's welcome Coach Vava. How's it going?
I can't hear you guys. Let's see.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Let's see.
Let's see. We can hear you.
No, nothing. Oh, man.
Okay, yeah. So,
You're
hopefully
good.
we can figure that. But yeah, we can hear you on our end if it gets worked out.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, should I try to log back out, log back in?
Yeah,
No?
yeah. Let's try that.
Okay, I can't hear you guys though. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
That's
can't hear
great.
y'all.
Yeah, if you want to log back out.
we'll send you a quick message. So we're having some technical difficulties here. We'll get it worked out. But thank you guys for your patience. That's the fun of having a live stream, right? So we'll get this all sorted out, and it'll work out. We'll see. This is fun. We'll try to stall here for a little bit. All right, he's gonna try to log out and log back in because we all know that always works, right? You just turn it off, turn it back on. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we're really excited to have Coach Vava on. Hopefully we can get the mic stuff set up. But for anybody who's watching, put any questions in the chat. We've got Cooper helping us out on the back end, grabbing some comments that we've been able to put up throughout the live stream. Thank you, Cooper. But you go ahead and throw them in there. We'll try to get to as many as we can. And then after Coach Vava, we'll come back on for some additional questions. And then we've got Dustin Baber in the end. So excited for that. And again, Party Animals Takeover. So it's a good day.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. I did want to give a thank you to you want to go on the start there. Give a thank you to Steven JD24 for that super chat. Really appreciate your support. All right, we're gonna try to get this working. Let's see.
Every time y'all click over, I lose sound on my end. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Crazy.
dang.
All right, let me see this little. Let's see here. Let's see.
Does that work any better? Can you hear us now?
settings here.
Can you hear us now? Anything?
Can you hear us? Okay.
Man. All right, let's see if he can hear Cooper.
Okay, Cooper, can you?
Oh, here we go.
Can you hear me?
Now I got it. We're golden.
You got us too?
I got you guys.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, I guess Cooper, you are part of this interview.
Okay.
Then.
I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the heck was going on my end.
No, you're totally fine. Technical issues are always there, but we really appreciate you coming on and yeah, we're excited for this interview. So thank you.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Glad we got it all. Glad it got all worked out. So you're coming off of a championship season. What does it mean to you to have won? Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Yes,
there we go.
Yes, sir. Sorry, had to start it off.
Oh, perfect. We're good to see that. What does it mean to you to have won the championship this season?
Oh man, it's honestly it means everything to me, and it means so much because of the guys that were able to earn it. Obviously managing these guys, playing with these guys, it's I see them work every day. I see how much effort, how much time they put into it, and just seeing it all come together. Like obviously any coach, any manager, they want to win too, but I think the biggest part is like seeing your guys win and then seeing them succeed how they wanted to. And I think that was like the most gratifying part of it.
I love that. Yeah, you guys were dominant throughout the whole season, so it was kind of fitting for you guys to take it home in the end. So congratulations on all of that.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. It was it was a long year. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely great. I think being able to take on the tailgaters so much too, because that was a lot of fun and they gave us a lot of competitive games. So it was really some good banana ball going into the playoffs for us.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, well, that's a weird day. We're just trying to figure this out as we go. That's a fun part of a live stream.
Gotta love it.
So what goes into creating the party animals vibe, and what goes on into like building the team chemistry that is so apparent on the team?
Oh man. It's a lot of the standards have been set by guys who've been around and who have done it, guys like Tanner Thomas, Jason Swans, the Bryson Bloomers, everyone's kind of invented their own way and their own version of how the party animal is and how the party animal works and kind of how the brand is coming all together. Like there's so many broad and drastic different ways you can go with the party animal brand, and there's edgy and there's stupid, there's so many different fun ways, and it's like we each have a guy and we each have a personality that really reflects it all, and like I think that's what makes it work is there's not just one specific like party animal thing. It's like we have 25 of them, so it's really cool for that.
Yeah, so with that, with like the tryouts, you're at a tryout. What are the couple things that you're looking for to know this guy's a party animal? I got to have him on our team.
Yeah, obviously it's fun, man, because you'll have some of these like really, really good athletes, and it's almost like baby deers walking for the first time because they're trying trick plays. And I say the throw rates to first base are more successful at like a 10U baseball game because these first basemen are trying to do these crazy trick plays. So like I was like, was that a good throw? Was it a bad throw? So it's fun. You see all these these good athletes, but essentially what I look for is someone who will fit the culture. I think you can come in and be a mediocre player, but you can be such a supreme clubhouse guy and a good personality fit where it elevates the team just as much as if you did something on the field. So really seeing like personality check, how that works, how they interact with me. I'm a pretty fun, outgoing guy, so that's always a good initial test, like how these guys are going to react when I come up to them. Obviously banana ball talent. Like what can they bring to the table? What can they provide? Also, what's unique? What haven't we seen on a banana ball field during a banana ball game? If that's possible, but it keeps becoming possible. So it's just, you're looking for unique uniqueness, if that's a word, and just really playability on the banana ball diamond, what that brings.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned the chemistry and everything there. With the draft that just happened, you brought almost the entire team back. What was your thought process going into the draft, and obviously it shows how important that team chemistry is.
Yeah, a lot of those guys, between franchise and some that were in the draft, is we built this brand together. I've been here the longest of the party animals, but a lot of these guys are right behind me, and that's like the Sean Flukes, Dustin Babers, the A Cuffs, the Bloomers, it's the Swans, it's like a lot of these guys know what it takes to not only be fans first, not only to be the best banana ball player, but also win, and then I do think winning is more that such an important thing now, since we're going into our own league and we're going into our own realm of like, okay, we got all these teams, same amount of games. Bananas are going to be the away team. This is going to be crazy. So, it's I think it's important to bring back guys who understand the culture, understand everything, and me and my coaches, I'm so blessed to have these coaches that are like, hey, this guy's not crazy. He wants to bring everyone back, and I was like, let's bring it back. Dylan Porter had a phenomenal tryout, in California. And I was like, bring him back. If he's on the board, like, let's bring him back, and TJ Reeves was another guy who I've been interested in forever. Our outfield's stacked, but I was like, if I can add that bat, add that outfield presence, and then losing Jacobo, I went and got Ballard, who's such an awesome infielder and, is really going to push the limits all around for us. So it's like my draft board went better than I even wanted it to. And, I'm glad it was over, man. I got married and I had the draft within a week from each other, and the marriage was the least stressful thing in my life at the time.
That is a crazy week. Oh my gosh.
Wild, man. I'm submitting my franchise picks like 2 hours before I walked down the aisle. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, that's incredible.
I couldn't imagine all the stress, but congrats. That's awesome. Two very successful events, the wedding and the draft. So congrats.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. So, oh man, I just lost my question.
So when you found out, like, how did you find out about banana ball? Because you came to the Party Animals as a player first. Like, what was that process like? Because you came pretty early on in banana ball.
Yeah, so it all happened back right after COVID. I was catching bullpens for the Phillies over in Clearwater, and once COVID hit, bullpen catchers weren't a thing. They had the real guys there to do it. So I lost my job doing that, and I was like, you know what, like, that's it. I think I was 28, 29 at the time. And in baseball years, you're dead. That's like one of those things that's tough to get picked up when you're that old. So I'm like, you know what, man, it was fun. Like, I'm going to focus on coaching. I was coaching high school baseball. Goodbye. Seen a good buddy of mine who played college baseball with, his name's Adam Moreau. He was coaching for the Bananas at the time. And he posted a thing, hey, we're having tryouts. And I was like, oh, cool. He's coaching for them. Click. I didn't know. And I thought it was the CPL, and he writes me, he goes, man, if you're still playing, this might be perfect for you. And I was like, of course I'm still playing. It's been a while. It was a long time. I was catching bullpens. I wasn't taking swings. So I played a lot of slow pitch softball at the time, So me and Fluke were running the slow pitch softball circuits. But no, it was and he's like, hey, let's it's $25 to try out. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, my wife at the time was my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, you want to go up to Savannah for a tryout? And she's like, yeah, softball. I'm like, no, it's baseball, actually. Like, she was surprised. And so a bunch of things come out. I actually missed the tryout because David Robertson, he was a relief pitcher for the Yankees and closer for the Phillies for a long time. Get a coach of high school baseball time, and it's like a week before the tryout. Get a phone call. He's like, hey, it's David Robertson. And I was like, the pitcher? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh my goodness. So he's like, hey, just got off Tommy John surgery, looking to throw bullpens in front of some scouts. The Phillies recommended you. Would you like to catch bullpens for me? He's like, I'll pay you well. It'll be 30 minutes. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Ends up being on the tryout day for the Party Animals, or for the Bananas at the time. I didn't even know there were the Party Animals. So I'm like, yeah. So I went and did the David Robertson thing because I was like, man, this is cool. Like, I'm in front of all these scouts catching a bullpen, like David Robertson, like World Series, All-Star. I'm like, this is nuts. So I called Barry and I was like, hey man, like got this opportunity. Barry's our head of scouting, director, all that stuff. So I was like, hey man, like got this opportunity to catch for David Robertson. And I really, really would like, I think it's important. I was like, I want to play for you guys, but I'm going to miss the tryout. And I remember the text, I believe he goes, well, if you're good enough to catch for him, I think you'll be fine. I'll send you over the contract. And I was like, we're in. So I had no idea day one when I drove up to Georgia for the first series what I was getting into, because I show up, we're doing dances, and then they're doing infield, outfield over here. And I was like, what is this? I was like, I have no idea. Like, I loved it, but I truly was clueless on my first day. I'm like, man, I missed the tryout. So I have no idea. I'm coming in green to everything. So that was kind of like my road to getting in. So that was 2021 when we did the One City World Tour.
That is awesome. Like, what was the One City World Tour like? For a lot of people like us, we didn't know about Banana Ball back then. Like, can you take us back and kind of paint that picture? Like, how is it different from today?
Oh man, it was interesting. People knew the Bananas pretty well at that point. Party Animals were like, they're like, who are these guys? And like, by no means, if I can find that first year photo, like we look like a bunch of delinquents. Like we are just a group of gnarly men. Like this one dude would wear a leather jacket. Like it was like we were the Party Animals essence, and it was beautiful, man. And but no, it's like, they were receptive to the idea. I mean, we played at Grayson, sold out, and it was awesome. And that was one of my first sold out crowds ever. I was like, holy crap, this is cool. Like, and they loved it. We had the plaza party after with the masks, because it was right after COVID. We had to be safe. And then following weekend, we went to Mobile, Alabama, played there. And it was so funny because I was talking to Jesse probably a year ago, and I was like, what was that, 10,000 people? I think he was like, no, it's a little over 4,000. And I was like, man, it literally felt like the World Series. Like I've never been in front of that. Seen the line wrap around the stadium. And I was like, so it was so cool because it was new. It was exciting. There was no wrong really what to do. Obviously there's always wrong, but like there was like no one really knew what to do, what not to do. It was just have fun with it, so it was a lot of like fun energy, new energy, like trying stuff out, like that wasn't that good, let's do it this way. And it was fun. It's fun to think back of those days, honestly.
That's awesome. And yeah, I'd heard this as well, but we have a comment here. Pat's fan, I heard the Animals always used to get booed. Is that true? And what were some of those experiences like for you guys?
It's funny because growing up, you would think like getting booed is like the worst thing in the world, but also like doing entertainment baseball, like any crowd reaction towards you is pretty cool. Like I remember like my first like true experience with like noticing it was I think when we did the 7 cities in 22. I hit a home run off Bill Lee, and I just really like played it up, like took my shirt off, and like the boos that were coming from everyone, it was like I was like, man, it's kind of cool, you're like the villain. And then like I hit a piñata when I got to home plate and everyone was just booing again, and I was like, okay, like it's kind of cool. I could see like where the wrestlers, like the heels, find it kind of fun, and I was like, that's fun. So it's crappy getting booed, but also like in our instance, like you kind of want that reaction. So like you're not really too hurt by it. Be like, yeah, boo, Party Animals. Like, yeah, I guess we're the bad guys. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had the player experience, then you transitioned to being the head coach for the Party Animals. What was that like, the transition to coaching, and how was it different? How was it the same? Anything like that?
Well, I mean, it's obviously, you guys can see it's tough. I still try to inch myself in games as it is. But no, it's tough, man, but it's a really, really cool experience. I mean, I get to do something, and I am the manager of a team that is very sought after. And I think it's it's honestly a dream position for me. Still able to put on the cleats and catch a couple games here and there is just like, it's really cool that I can still do it. And I have some pride in that. And I love to like rally the boys around and have a good game and play well with them. But being able to manage them and really, look over the brand we built and like, I want to be responsible for all that stuff that goes on the diamond. I want to, if I get someone thrown out, like sending them home, like I'll eat it. I'm the manager. I want that responsibility. So it's really cool to, I have the respect that I get from my guys and also get the respect back. And like I said, it's from what we've all built together.
I love that. So I don't know if you heard this at the beginning of the live stream, but Cooper, who's on, he's a college baseball player. But Cooper, do you have any questions for Coach Vava?
I do. So I'm also a catcher.
Okay.
So I want to know the difference between catching major league guys and then going the banana ball, because I know you got to go right into the next pitch. You don't get time to set up. You don't get time getting your. For me, I do a lot of pre-pitch stuff with catching. I do some old techniques and new techniques because that's where I'm comfortable right now. But as a catcher, like, you always just got to be ready, even in baseball. But I just want to know, like, that level of being ready between catching pros and then catching banana ball with how fast the movement is.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to say I was able to do that bullpen catching before I got to banana ball, just because with the talent, like, over the years, the pitching has gotten much better, even from, the first time in 23, when we really took off to now. I mean, the pitching lights out. Peter Holden's one of those guys. He had, out of some of the big league arms I've caught, he still has some of the best movement and changeup I've ever seen, and it's like some of these guys, there's a reason, they've played pro ball, or they're on this stage. They have a tool, they have something that really is, is next level. The one difference I will say from like catching like guys and, like on the active roster, guys in the MLB when they were on rehab, is like, they don't miss spots. That's the one thing, is like, obviously, like, you have to be an elite catcher to be that, but I'll tell you what, like, you give them a location, you give them a pitch, and it's very rare, especially in a bullpen session, that they're missing, so it's the accuracy between, the MLB guys and us, like, obviously is big. The reason they're there and making the big bucks. But I will say, like, movement and catching alone, I catching bullpens was 10 times easier, just because in banana ball, you're moving, it's nonstop. And just like, the new age framing and setting up back there, is you're on a knee most of the time, and man, it's almost like you're battling yourself up down, because you're moving so quick. Everyone's got 3-pitch sequences, so you can't get crossed up, and it's I would say, like, the catching in banana ball is not only a workout, but it's a little more difficult too. So it's definitely one of those. Hope I kind of answered it in a broad spectrum there.
Oh. Yeah, no, you are. Because I noticed with banana ball, you can steal first base.
Yes.
On a pass ball. And as a catcher, I'm like, okay, no one on, I'm going to be on a knee. I'm still going to block, but one that's in the other batter's block, they'll try to pick it.
Yeah, man. And
banana ball, you just got to block everything.
Yeah, you get comfortable, and it's like, it's one of those things. And I think I have it on from the One City World Tour, as I was catching, and same thing, no one on, and I don't get good glove on it. I reach back for another one, and the guy steals first. I was like, oh crap, that's right, it's a live ball, like, you're just not used to it. So it's just like being on your toes at all time. And you from first pitch on, you got to be ready to block anything, which is never easy. That as a catcher.
No, yeah, blocking is my least favorite thing to do in catching. I think a lot of catchers can agree with that statement. And then I got another question about the draft, kind of going back to that. Throughout the entire draft night, were you just worried that, because I assume you went into that draft with the mindset that you're going to draft the same guys?
Yeah.
Was there any time throughout the draft where you're worried, like, okay, I have this guy next, I'm scared someone's going to take him for me and screw up my entire plan?
Honestly, like, every round, it was once. It was probably my first 3 picks. I was like testing the waters. I didn't really know where everyone was going. We did like a little mock draft. We did like a dress rehearsal the night before, and like we made like funny picks. Like we just picked like like different stuff. So like no one had an idea of where anyone was going. So my first 3 picks where I was most nervous, because like I wanted to retain those guys early. I knew those were going to be hot on the market, obviously being veteran guys, good ball players, But then once I got, 4 or 5 too, I was like, maybe this is going way too smooth for me. Maybe this isn't, but it played out well. And then the next day, because I thought Reeves was going to be off the board early. And then the next day I was able to pick him up, first pick of the 6th round. And I was like, man, things are going smooth, and so it kind of like every pick moving forward was like, oh man, like, is this going to work? But it just went smooth, and, everyone did great. I mean, everyone's draft
Yeah.
board's unbelievable. I mean, I think the clowns on paper are unbelievable. So this year's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
I transitioned from a Firefighters fan to a Clowns fan because
Right.
Joe Lytle got drafted, and I did an interview with him already for NEI ball. So I kind of got to know him. So I became a huge Joe Lytle fan. And he played under you, correct, in 23?
Yeah, he was a party animal in 23.
I do remember he was a party animal, and he went to the Firefighters. So I'm like, okay, I'll go for the Firefighters. And then I saw him drafted to the Clowns. I'm like, guess I'm going to be a Clowns fan.
Right. Yeah, no, that was a solid pickup for them too. They got a lot of pro arms over there, so bringing in a catcher like Joe is going to be great. Like he handles a staff really well. So smart catcher. He was fun in 23 to have.
That's awesome.
I mean, his hair and the mustache just combined, like it fit the Firefighters because my dad's a firefighter back in my hometown, and all those guys just have these handlebar mustaches that go all the way down. They all curl. I'm like. And I can't grow. I try a lot, and I can't do it.
Hey, that's good, man. You don't got to shave. You don't got to worry about it, honestly.
No. I'm seeing a lot of comments. They're saying, Cooper, go to Banana Ball. I submitted a tryout video. I just never got an email back. I filled out the application and everything. But
you're still in college?
Yeah.
Okay, what year are you in?
I'm a sophomore, redshirt sophomore.
Okay. Yeah, man. Hey, whenever you get done with college ball, you gotta let me know, man. We'll get you to a tryout.
All right, I will. I'm
Absolutely.
excited.
Finish college first. Get that, because that's always.
Yeah.
I sound like an old man right now. I sound like my parents, but no, it's true, man. Get the degree. It's so worth it.
I need it because my degree is in media communications. So I broadcast and I do journalism. So I really need to get that because I do want to play baseball after college.
Right.
I don't know where. I say pro, independent, Banana Ball, Japan, Korea, anywhere I can keep playing after college.
Anywhere.
Until my knees give out as a catcher, of course. Because that's ultimately going to be my retirement. It's my knees.
Right.
So I'm still impressed. You still catch right now.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thankfully, knock on wood, the knees, have lasted up. It's the hips and the shoulders that are fading away. But I train kind of stupid, in the gym, so I kind of I blame the shoulder on myself.
Yeah, I take care. I lift every week, and I go. Depending on I bet you're a baseball player, game week, okay, we'll go light, off season, we'll go heavy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the biggest things this year when Bronny went out and I was actually playing more. It was like trying to figure out my training around playing because I haven't done it in so long. And I was like, because I'd be so sore after some of those games, man. I'd be like, I can't do anything for the next couple of days. So it's when you can find that routine that fits you, especially as a catcher, because you're getting your butt kicked way more, day in, day out. So when you can find that routine that lines up, it's nice because if you don't do anything, you feel terrible. If you do extra, you feel terrible. It's like that, right? In between, you need.
Yeah,
catching mentally and physically I would say is the hardest sport to play or hardest position to be, for sure. And like you just said, in Banana Ball, it's even harder.
Oh yeah, it's but it was one of those things where growing, I say I'm useless unless I'm behind a dish, because then I really can't play anywhere else. Everyone says catchers are psychopaths. I tell my infielders they're psychopaths because I'll try to go take ground balls during batting practice. Unless we're on a turf field, I'm frightened for my life. I don't know how these guys stay in front of these ground balls. So it's catching is. I was glad it was there because it kept me I feel like I couldn't play. If I played left field growing up, I might have lost my mind just because I wasn't athletic. I would have I was too hyper. So you got to put me behind the plate, make me active, and so very thankful for the catching position.
So now that you mentioned it, I got another question. So I saw Grayson Stadium went from natural playing surface to turf. And as a catcher, do you prefer turf or dirt? And that could be we'll say MOB style dirt and then high level turf.
That's good. So I was gonna say I didn't want to sound bougie because the MLB fields are unbelievable. I would take catching, like Turner Field, for instance, like, or not Turner Field. Oh my goodness, Truist, the OG Braves. So Truist, that was one of the like most supreme batters boxes. Like I could catch in that every day. But the turf is good too. The only thing about the turf I will say with catching is I feel like especially with blocking, I'll like it overslides me. Say I have to get to like an outside pitch, like I'll be skirting really far out there. I'm like, I don't need to go that far. So like sometimes the footing's a little different, but with turf and what we were able to do in Savannah, I'm from Florida my whole life, so I've dealt with rain, and Savannah is just as bad, and like, we get a lot of rain. It's hot, so the turf's really been able to help us, with practices, games, and I mean, tarping that thing as a unit was exhausting. Trying to do that before and after games, and so it's been great. But I will say, MLB ballpark home plate would definitely be my pick. Oh, nothing about like there's nothing better than the clay feeling of like that you get, the metal spikes and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, just a natural surface. I got one more question, and then I'll give it back to Sammy and Brandon. I'm sorry for taking over.
You're doing great, Cooper.
This is kind of a fun question, and the Par Animals are a fun team. So for you personally, what is your favorite uniform you guys have?
Ooh, it's tough. My heart always wants to go with the original cutoffs with the boat, the tuxedos. The paint splatters are like, I think, the most catchy, eye-catching. Like, I feel like if we were doing something big, we'd want to wear those. It catches eyes. But the ones you guys have on personally, like the ones those are like the most game, like baseball feel ones. I know I roll the sleeves up, but I mean, it's Party Animals, but those are like my just button downs by I think those I think like a general population of the Party Animals would all pick those uniforms, but between those and the pink splatters, because the pink splatters are sweet. Hopefully maybe we get a new set of jerseys this year. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
That would be awesome.
Throw my 2 cents, some pinstripes.
That's what I'm saying. It would be nice. Anyone listening, it would be nice.
That's awesome. So we got a question here in the chat from Korea Soul. What was the most surprising decision of the draft outside of the Party Animals pick? So like any player that went to a team you weren't expecting or anything along those lines?
Oh man, surprising. I'm in reference to my guys. I knew Berser was going to be a hot item on the market. I knew he was going to get taken. I think he's a good fit for the firefighters. Obviously, I think he's a better fit for us, but he's definitely a good fit for the firefighters. Jackie Bradley Jr. did not, obviously. It was that's crazy. That was a huge pickup. Man, overall, like, I'm trying to think. There's a catcher that the Bananas got late, Easton Parrish. I would say keep an eye on him. I think he's going to be a really good banana ball player. I think he was one of the better catchers in the draft, and definitely look. I mean, it's going to suck to play against him, but definitely interested to see how he does for them.
Yeah, that Jackie Bradley Jr. pick shocked everyone. What would you say that pick says about the future of banana ball?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it just propelled banana ball like 2 more years already in the future, with just showing that, hey, like, this guy's done it on the biggest stage possible, and like he believes in this, and he's literally going to play because he knows what this provides, what this brings, and like what this means to people. And I think him doing that's just the start. I don't know the whole background of the MLB, and I heard that like a lockout's coming in net 27 and all that good stuff. And that's something that is wild to me. It's because that's a lot of talent without a job, and like there's an opportunity and there's a spot for them. And it could be, banana ball could be nuts in a couple years. And like, obviously I don't know how that works, but I mean, it just shows that, this is real talent, and it's rare now, but I will at least, a couple months, someone will come up to us and like, if we lose or if we win, they'll be like, yeah, let you win this one tonight. And I was like, no, we really won. Like, it's not a joke. Like, this is real. Like, we're playing out there. We're playing real games. So I think it just shows the more validity of it. And we're just growing like crazy. And I'm excited to be on the same field as Jackie Bradley Jr. It blows my mind.
That's awesome. So like that's crazy for the future of banana ball. And just like you mentioned with the competition, like what is the hardest thing for you as a coach to balance the competitive baseball side, especially with the league, Jackie Bradley Jr., all of that, with the entertainment? Like, how do you keep those in balance?
Yeah, it's tough. It's one of those things where it's like you don't want the entertainment portion to affect the actual gameplay, but also it's an entertainment game. So like, you do it's all free for all, and like the Bananas have dealt with it for years, like, having, they can go to, stilts at any time. And that's like, obviously he's talented with what he does, but like he puts the ball in play almost every time, but he can't run, and like, so it's like either he's got to smoke that thing. And, so they've had to deal with it. So it's really finding the times in games. And like, I'm, so blessed to have talented players like that can dance, like Dalton Ponce and, the Jake Lialioses and, Jake Skoll. He doesn't do anything crazy. He's just cool. I mean, you can't say that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you could describe Jake Skoll in one word, is that's a bad man on a baseball field, and he's just cool. And like, that's his thing, And so, it's it's all cool, man. But yeah, so basically I guess that answers it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going into next season, there will be an equal number of home games and away games. What is the Party Animals? Traditionally, were always the away team, but now you're playing home games. What is the difference there in preparation when you are going from playing a home game instead of an away game?
Yeah, man, it's it's a big difference just because a lot of it is the amount of at bats you'll receive. Obviously, being the home team, you get skimped on some at bats, and that's why I think being a good hitting team in the past has been so successful for us, because we've been able to take the board early, and when you're the home team, you can essentially be playing a chase of the game the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So you're always trying to battle back, and it's one of those things where you preparate, where you really want to, you want to set your lineup up to really be aggressive and make stuff happen early. And when you're a visiting team and when you're the home team, want to have the same way, but you also want to make sure that the pitching is set straight and that you have someone solid on the mound to shut someone out. Because in banana ball, I think the most shutout innings early in a game really sets you up. If you can score early and shut them out, like gaining later in the game, I think makes it so much more difficult for them to do something just because of that. And then with the equalizer rule obviously coming into play, that's going to help out a lot as well with being the visiting team. So
for sure. Well, this has been great. We wish it could go on for a lot longer. But Sammy, do you have any final questions before we head out?
I guess we'll end with the question we ended with Ponce. I saw someone mentioned it again. Sorry, I'm not pulling it up right now, but Spotify Wrapped came out, I think today. What was, if you use Spotify, maybe you don't, but what was your top song on Spotify Wrapped? And if you don't use Spotify, what song do you think you listened to the most this year?
Oh man, listen to the most. I don't use Spotify. I'm an Apple Music guy. Sorry.
Nope.
It's tough, man. I go through ebbs and flows throughout the season. It could be like hard rock. It could be, I would say the one, Fallen in Reverse, the band. They would be probably my most listened to of this year. That between I went to when we played in Tampa that weekend was the same as a Reggae Rise Up, so I got to see one of my favorite bands in that too. So between them, man, it's Dirty Heads. I'd say between Dirty Heads and that band were the most listened to band. So I don't know about a specific song.
There you go. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, anything else you've got for the fans before we let you go? Anything that you want them to know going into 2026 for the party?
First off, want to thank y'all so much for having me on here. This has been a blast, and I appreciate y'all taking the time. And I guess to the fans is we're excited, man. The draft is over, thank goodness, and we're excited to get back on the field and provide the best show, the best product of Party Animals there is for everyone. So
we look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a great one.
Thanks.
Yep, you too.
You too.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach Vava, and thank you, Cooper, for jumping in there as well. It was a great conversation. That was a lot of fun.
Seriously, it's so cool to see, hear the background, especially with the draft, like the strategy there. Him hoping to bring the entire team back, yeah, it was a really, really awesome conversation.
Yeah, and the best part is that the Party Animals Takeover is not done yet. We still have Dustin Baber coming on in just a couple minutes to have a conversation with him. Obviously, if you haven't seen our full conversation where he went into his backstory, some of the beginning days of the Party Animals, you got to go check out that other one. But today we're going to be focusing with him on the draft because he was in the draft pool. There was some stress with that, as Coach Vava mentioned, of no one knew it was going to happen. So we're excited to pick his brain and talk to him about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, before he comes on, Brandon, I gotta ask, what was your top song for Spotify Wrapped this year?
So my top song that came up was actually "Over It" by Michael Barrow and the Tourists.
Our own theme song,
which is the one that we're using for our intro. You might have heard it at the beginning. So yeah, that was my top song. But what about you?
Over It. Actually, I think it might have been mine too. Let me.
You got to confirm that though before you throw that out there.
I gotta confirm this.
But while you look that up, again, thank you, Cooper, for jumping on there and asking those questions to Vava. That was really cool hearing the perspective of a current baseball player and a current catcher at that, asking him those questions, and also for the help with all the comments. For anyone in the chat right now, throw in those comments. Cooper's monitoring that to put the questions. There's so many good questions coming in. I apologize, we're not getting to all of them, but we'll try to pull some up with Dustin Baber and then answer some more at the end of the live stream once Dustin Baber is
done. It was the same. Over It by Michael Barrow and the Tourists. Top song for both of us, I guess. My kids love that song. Surprisingly, only one of my top songs was, like, it gives you the top 5. Surprisingly, only one of them was a song that my kids exclusively like, and that was the song Thneedville from the Lorax movie.
That's
that
the biggest.
Made my top 5. Thneedville.
If you're a parent and you have Spotify Wrapped, you know it's going to skew it quite a bit. I had a lot of Moana in mine.
The playlist that my boys have is just it's just insane.
Yeah, and then I do want to bring up with the conversation on Spotify Wrapped, we had a really cool moment today, and I want to bring this up. So let me share my screen here, and we'll pull this up. Okay, so here we go. Bring that onto the stage. So this is our stories. I shared it here, but this one right here. Molly May, thank you so much for sharing. Listen to 4,481 minutes of our podcast in the top 0.001% fan on Spotify. So thank you so much for supporting that. And that's absolutely crazy for us that we're in someone's Spotify Wrapped. So really, really cool moment to share. We had to throw that in there today.
It's just weird. I was thinking about it after I saw that, shout out to her. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. But it was just weird to think about, I have my top podcast that I listen to, and it's this really, podcasts are so weird because you listen to them for hours, but the people I listen to, they have no idea that I exist. And so I'm just listening to these conversations while I'm at work or whatever. And it was just weird to know that I'm that for someone else now, and it's just cool. We just are so grateful for you guys, that you take the time to listen to us, even though you don't have to, you're choosing to do it. So, I'm just so grateful for all of you.
Yeah. And just so everyone knows, so we do the live streams main here on YouTube, and then we just put those on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you can't get on the live stream. This is obviously the best way because we're able to pull up some comments if you're on live like this one. So you guys are big time now. Thank you. That means I don't think we're quite there yet, but that means a lot. We want to hit a couple other comments here as well before we have Dustin Baber jump on. We had another super chat that we want to give a big thank you to. Biff Baus, incredible. I can't even believe that. That's really nice to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that.
And it says, in Bob we trust. I've heard that Vava is linked to that somehow, but I don't know the backstory. So you guys got to fill us in on how that connects to him. And then I think there was one other one I wanted to grab, but if you got something else, go for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Here we go.
M. Durham. Goodness gracious, Brandon. You catch a foul ball for an out, and now you're wearing a Party Animals jersey. For the records, though, your guests this evening are among my favorites. Yes, this is a one night thing. This is
the second live stream that you've worn that.
That is true.
I don't know if you guys remember the live stream immediately following the championship. Brandon did put that on because he caught that ball. That is the ball.
Yep.
That is the ball.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I wore a Party Animals jersey for that. I wore it for the takeovers. I only wish that we had all of the other merch for the teams so that we could do this for everyone. Obviously, when we do the firefighter, Sammy's got that. I've got a tailgaters, but someday we'll have all of the merch and we can pull that off, and maybe we can get this guy in yellow. I don't know. I've never seen him wear Savannah Bananas.
I will never.
Okay, this is crazy. Got to pull this one up. Watching for the Philippines right now, already hyped for the Banana Ball Championship League. That's incredible that you're watching from the Philippines. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, Marcos Castillo just signed for the Royals of the rebranded Canadian Baseball League. Yeah, I saw that today. That was shocking. I mean, shocking that something like that had happened, but at the same time, Marcos Castillo is one of the top guys I think that missed out on there. So I'm not shocked that he was pulled into another league because he's super, super talented.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, thank you for watching from the Philippines. That's really cool. Might be the first one that first person that we know of that is watching from the Philippines. So, all right, we're going to now transition to our final guest. We're super excited to have him on, a legend of a party animal here. We want to introduce him. We're going to have Dustin Baber on. He's a 2025 champion for the Party Animals. Of course, he bats after a beer chug. He's the leprechaun. 112 trick plays this year, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs. We are so excited to have him on. So welcome, Dustin Baber.
Hey, how's it going? Going good. How are you?
It's all right.
Well, it was great to talk to you a couple weeks ago right before the draft, but what are your thoughts right now? I know it's been a little bit, but how are you feeling knowing you're coming back to the Party Animals?
It feels like I'm going back home. I mean, it was obviously a little scary there, but I never doubted Vava for a second, and I knew what his goal was, and I knew how adamant he was on getting the guys back together. So there was never a question. There was never a doubt, and good to be back, and good to be back where I belong.
For sure.
Yeah, what does it mean to you to have, close to almost everyone, 95% of the team coming back together?
It means a lot. I mean, you build that team camaraderie, and obviously it helps when you win a lot, that you guys can be a lot more happy and enjoy each other's company. But just the camaraderie that we've had throughout the year and throughout the past couple years, where we've all just come to know each other really well and know each other's strengths, weaknesses, and also we can hold each other accountable because we have that respect for each other because we have spent so much time together over the years. So I think it feels like the family's back together, and also with the 2 new additions, or the 3 new additions, with Porter coming back, he was a party animal. Reed's coming back, he was a party animal, and then the only real new addition being Ballard. I think that he's going to fit in perfectly, and we're going to pick right back up where we left off.
That's incredible.
That's what we like to hear. It was interesting watching the draft and seeing the other teams. They had their strategies. They were going for the draft pool, the new guys, trying to get some new players in, and then every time it would go back to Coach Vava, and he's bringing back another party animal, and it just shows they're chasing the champion, right? And so that was just really entertaining to watch. Honestly, it's like all these other teams are trying to build out a new team. But the party animals are just bringing everyone back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he said it perfectly when he said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean, it was never really – it was always the mentality, if you're the champions, everyone's chasing you. So try and get your guys back and run it back until someone takes you down. This is the team that is leading the way. And he lives and dies by the code of loyalty, and we love that out of him. And we'll run through brick walls for him anytime you ask. We just love being on this side, every single one of us, and we don't want to be anywhere else.
Absolutely love that. Yeah, it's a really, really awesome team chemistry that you guys have got. And so it's exciting to see where that goes. We have a question in the chat that I wanted to bring up asking, how many leprechaun vests do you own?
So I own 6 of them. One's hung up in my room. That was the first ever one. Do I know where all 6 of them are? No. I know where 3 of them are. 2 are in my bag from this past season. 1 is up on the wall. The other 3, I believe I gave those 3 away to fans. I gave 1 to my mother, gave 2 to fans over the course of the time. But I just wanted to keep the original one. It felt like a really cool memento to hold on to. But other than that, yeah, I got like 6 of them.
That's so cool. Yeah, I think people think very highly of it and connect you to it. We had another question of saying like, whoops, wrong one. Will we ever get leprechaun vests sold with your jerseys? I mean, it kind of feels like they should be synonymous.
So I have been working closely with Evo Shield. There is a prototype. I won't be posting anything about it because I believe there will be a launch of it. But we have a prototype Evo Shield jersey in the works. Where we're working closely to try and nail everything down to keep that same vest feeling, but also make it into a really cool looking jersey as well. So it's in the works. They might be for sale. We'll see.
That's awesome.
Nice. You heard it here first, folks. That's exciting. I would buy one. I'll just say that. That's awesome. So what are you up to now with the off season? How are you kind of preparing for next season, or what do you like to do during the off season?
So obviously everyone on the line sees me golfing a lot, but I've been spending so much time in the gym getting prepared body wise to have another 10-month long season. Definitely don't want to be missing games for injury or just lack of preparation. So a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time going to be put into the field once I get back from this trip that me and the wife are on. I'm going to be back at the field, taking ground balls, working on new trick plays, getting back in the cage to hit more home runs, hopefully. We'll see. But no, just preparing like I always do, over preparing and making sure it works out in the end.
That's awesome. Yeah, like with all of that, with the offseason, does this season feel different going into the league? Is there any added pressure or anything like that going into 2026?
No, I think it brings in more excitement for all the guys, just because now we get to see a wider array of talent. As much as we do love seeing those guys every day, and we become close with even the other teams, with the tailgaters, firefighters, and bananas. We like meeting new guys, seeing new talent, seeing how far we can push banana ball too. And a lot of these new infielders are going to bring in new trick plays. Same thing with the outfielders, and a lot of these guys coming in can really swing the stick. So it's just going to bring more legitimacy to the game of banana ball, showing of how talented these players are around here. And obviously you saw a lot of talented players this past season, but now you got guys like Tanner Allen and a lot of these big names that decided to make the jump and wanted to come see what this is all about. I think it's just going to really legitimize the sport that we're playing.
Yeah, super excited for that.
Yeah, definitely. We're super stoked for you. Now that you know that you're coming back with the Party Animals, is there any specific game or venue that you're super the most excited for this season?
It's Yankee Stadium. I made a video about it. The other day, and I put it out there. And I got a couple more videos that I will be putting out. But growing up a Yankees fan from day one, having it instilled in me by my mother from the very first time I can remember watching baseball. I've been a Jeter fan, Robinson Cano, Hideki Matsui, Jorge Posada, like those guys back in the early 2000s, all the way on. I supported through and through the ups and downs. Hated a lot of the coaching decisions, but obviously still support the team. But no, Yankee Stadium's going to be really special. I've been to the new Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium, but being able to step on the field as a player, that's going to be an emotional moment for sure. I got I think 50 or so people coming to the game on Saturday night, and it's going to be a really emotional night for sure.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. So growing up a Yankees fan, how does it feel to know that you'll be playing against a former Red Sox player?
Yeah, Jackie. That was a surprise to say the least. No, a lot of these former major league players come in here, and some might think that they're all high and mighty, and they try and be standoffish. 99% of them, actually 100% that I've met, have really been open to the idea and open to what we do here, and it just means a lot. So I know Jackie's going to be one of those guys that buys in. He's going to love playing. He's going to love being around the guys. He's going to love the camaraderie that we bring with dancing and entertainment and everything. But I mean, I'm going to definitely have some conversations with him about some things that he did to the Yankees over the years. That's for sure. I'm not going to be too harsh about it because I still have to play against him. But I definitely, I definitely have some conversations about him facing Mariano and guys like that.
That's so cool. Yeah, well, yeah, and it was just gonna be a little bit short. Get you back to your time with your wife. But what are you most looking forward to? Like going, obviously Yankee Stadium, but like, what do you have for the fans going into 2026? Excitement level. Anything else you got for them?
For me, I just want to first off keep evolving the beer chug because people love it when it goes above and beyond. And I think that's something that can be continued to evolve into like a keg stand and stuff like that. Try and see how crazy things we can do. I definitely want to go for the 100 trick plays again. We have less games. This is the least amount of games we've all played. So it's going to be a challenge to knock out 100. So that's obviously the goal. I want to get better at the plate. That's obviously the goal. I just want to bring a new level to myself as a player so that the fans can really see that there's a difference being made. And I'm excited. Put a lot of hard work in so far. Not there yet, but I think I'm mostly excited to get back on the field with the guys and defend this title.
Yeah.
All right. One last question. I cannot find it for the life of me in the chat, but I swear I saw it. You mentioned, evolving the beer chug. Someone asked if you had chugged a beer out of the championship trophy.
Absolutely. And I was it on camera? No. Did I do it? Yes.
Amazing.
And it felt like I had to do it. And I will say this: the party animals, we did celebrate, and I was not the only player to chug a beer out of that trophy that night. The guys definitely were really proud of ourselves that night, and we celebrated like only the party animals know how to.
Amazing. Awesome. So that looks like it was Biff that had that question. A great question. So there you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll let you get back to the rest of your night. But excited for you next season, and can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely, guys. Can't wait to hang out with you guys again.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. See you, guys.
See ya.
Go party animals.
Awesome. Well, that was absolutely incredible. It has been an absolutely insane Party Animals takeover night. We are so excited to do these takeovers for all of the other teams. And next week, we will be continuing them with the Clowns. We have a couple players already lined up with a couple more that we're working on. And we also have Coach Fox coming on for the Clowns. So we had the Coconuts coach on last week, Coach Vava on tonight, and Coach Fox of the Clowns on next week. Try to give you guys an insight into their draft strategy, into what they're looking at with the teams, as well as pull on some of the players. So we're really excited to do more of these takeovers. But which team are you guys most excited for? Put it in the chat right now.
Yeah, let us know. I'm super excited for these. These have been super, super fun. And thank you again. We really appreciate you, Biff. That's just really, really
very generous. Thank you.
Thank you. And so, yeah, thank you guys. Excited for all the takeovers coming up here. Excited for the season. The season really starts soon. It's 2.5 months away. So yeah, super excited. Thank you again to Cooper for all he did today. He's awesome. You don't see him when he's just editing stuff for us, but he has been a lifesaver for us. He is so great, and it was awesome to hear him ask some questions, get on the camera, and he did an amazing job. Just wanted to give a shout out to him as well. So, I guess let's bring Cooper back on just for if he has any last words.
Any thoughts / are there any questions that we missed in the chat that you think that we should highlight?
No, I appreciate you guys for having me on. I know right now I'm editing, but it was fun to make an appearance, and this is fun. I like talking to the Banana Wall guys. They're awesome. They like to be very communicative with what they talk about, and just like to be hands-on with people like us, like getting into the podcast. Like, it's awesome. It's fun to talk to them.
For sure. Yeah, no, and super excited again. Like, your current baseball player looking to be a broadcaster. So did a great job, and we appreciate all your help.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, that about wraps up the night.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. These are weekly live streams every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern time. We will be doing them through all of them. And then Sammy's got something to close us out.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And just wanted to say that this podcast is a proud part of Deseret Noise Company. Thank you for them. And we are so excited for everything going on next. And go Party Animals.
Awesome. Go Party Animals. We will see you guys next week.